best. And, some of Sam's favorite moments in life are when he sees somebody really making a fool of themselves.
Oh, yeah. And, as when I was younger, it didn't matter because it was like they were just making a fool of themselves. Ha, 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 I'll poke fun. Now, I do have somewhat of a conscience.
Yes, I know you do.
You think so, huh?
And I do. I say that lovingly, but it just because anytime something happens to me like that and you're not there, it's like, if Sam were here, this is exactly what he would be loving every minute of. So, as you know, Jodi and I are preparing to move here soon, and Jodi found this great deal at an estate sale on a sleeper sofa.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And
we want a sleeper sofa.
And it was one of those, and we're just trying to, she said, Murphy, look, we can either buy this thing now, it'll be 25% off tomorrow or 50% off Sunday. I'm like, look, at that price, it's not going to last. So just, if you can get it, go ahead and get it.
And sound like a commercial.
Right,
it was barely used, and it was less than half price is what you'd pay for a brand new sleeper sofa. And we're putting it in an area where we want to have guests come and sleep. Like my cousin Candace will sleep on this bed, so it was important to me that it be comfortable.
Yeah, and I said, look, sight unseen, I trust you, Jodi. Whatever, at least open it up, make sure there's nobody rolled up in it.
It's been barely used.
It's a little heavy,
right? But this thing it's super clean. So they put a sold sign on it, and the next day it's like, okay, we'll go pick it up. So my friend Randy and I hop in his truck. Well, actually, the first thing was, Jodi and I thought I had this thing figured out. I took my measuring tape. I'm like, okay, let's go at least measure it, and then we'll try to figure out whether it can fit in the back of my SUV. And so we did that, and I got home and realized it was about 2 inches too shy.
Big.
Yeah, it just wasn't going to.
And he wasn't willing to drive with the back open, which
but
I'm fine with that.
I don't think I could have secured it. I guess maybe, I don't know. That would have turned out badly. Yeah, it just right. So
I lost the sofa,
and I really didn't want Jodi to have to, pick up the sofa too. Sleeper sofas are much heavier than regular sofas,
and rightly so.
And so my friend Randy and I go over there in his truck.
I call him Handy Randy because he's so helpful.
Yes, here we go, Handy Randy again, and he is very helpful. He knows he knows how to work his way out of anything because he's got this sort of like carpenter and engineering mindset. He can figure out anything. And so we go into the house to get the sofa, and this was really awesome. There were, I guess because it was an estate sale, there were two gentlemen who were working for the people putting on the estate sale who would help you move things. I'm like, this is
that's
great.
Cool.
So it doesn't have to be the two of us trying to get this thing out of the room. So we go into it's in a back bedroom of this house, and we start to pick the sofa up, and we realize tilting it one direction or another, we cannot get it out of the doorway. And on its side, and flipping this thing was heavy. It was taking, three of us to do that. Couldn't take the feet off of it. Couldn't tilt it at funny angles. Couldn't do try the arms first.
Pivot.
Put it up on its side. Pivot, exactly like from Friends. And so my friend Randy says, yeah, we're going to have to take the door off the hinges. And I'm thinking, this is not our house.
Yeah.
Right? So he goes and he gets his screwdriver because his truck has everything, and he boom starts banging on the hinges, taking them off. And you should have seen everybody running to the back of the house. Like, it's okay. He said, we can't get these out. Just get the hinges off the door. If we get the door out the way, we'll be able to get the sofa out.
So you made everybody nervous.
Yeah, and I understood that. We probably should have gone and said, hey, look, we need to take the doors off the hinges. But anyway, door comes off the hinges, move the door aside, pick up the sofa, start to walk out. Boom, it will not go out the door again.
Really?
And I'm beginning to wonder, how did they get this thing in here,
Probably from the back of the house, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a bigger, different area, something.
But they had to get it into the room somehow.
You're right.
They couldn't get it out of, you know what I'm saying? If we couldn't get it out of the room, how did you get it in there in the first place?
Sure.
So we were baffled by this, and I was already feeling kind of silly because this is not our house. There's a big estate sale going on. We're making all this noise trying to get this sofa.
Taking doors off the hinges.
Out of the back, and it's four of us, and we can't figure out how to get this thing out of the door. So one of the helpers says, well, maybe we could go out the window. And the owner of the house, no, nobody's going out. Nobody's going out any windows. So bigger scene. Finally, we turn it up on its side, and Randy was able to figure out an angle to get it into the hallway. Well, we got into the hallway and got all the way to the end of the hallway door. Same problem.
Oh, my God.
So this time, and we had to take the hinges off those doors too. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is if I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, I would be really embarrassed right now.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't paid money for this thing, I guess it would be too. So now we're 30 minutes into this, And so 2 more people come in to help. Now there are 6 of us trying to figure out how to.
I had no idea.
And so everybody's philosophizing, well, maybe if we open up the closet door over here, maybe you could back into the bathroom and tilt this. And it was all this discussion going on. And, and finally we were able to barely inch it through. If we didn't squeeze the cushions down a little bit, it wouldn't have gotten out. And we finally got it out and loaded it to the truck. But I don't know how the people moved this thing in the first place. It took us almost 45 minutes to get this sofa out.
And there was no removing legs.
No, it was all it was all attached, and it weighed a ton.
Well, you guys performed a little miracle there.
Well, and maybe what happened is they bought the couch, set it down, and built the house around it.
Yeah, that's the only other option.
That's the only other thing that I can figure.
Let's take the roof off and lower it in.
I wonder if someone else would have bought it, would they have just said, you know what? I'll take my money back and you can just sell the sofa with the house, because I know the house is going on the market soon, the one we were at buying the sofa from.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Anybody else might not have been that patient with it, but I wasn't about to go out of there without the couch that Jodi bought.
Okay, so you got it out of that house. How did it get into yours okay?
Yeah, fortunately, that was no problem. Going in, it's
so nice, too.
At the house that we were, in, that we bought it from, it's like one of those late 1960s, early 1970s homes where they started making the doorways much smaller and narrower. So that's why we couldn't get it out. I thought we were going to have to take molding and stuff off.
Oh, no.
Murphy, it sounds like you didn't get as good of a deal on the couch as you thought you did.
Well, I had to work for it, that's for sure.
You know what's funny is that when you got home and you told me that it was such a pain, you didn't tell me all of that. I didn't know the specifics. That I remember saying, we didn't, maybe in the future, remember that experience. Maybe it would be worth buying something new and having something new delivered. Yeah. Because there is that. Mm-hmm. That took you guys some serious time and effort to do it.
Well, and I'm hoping this little pain I have is not a hernia. That could get really expensive.
I had purchased a dryer recently because mine died.
Yes, Sam.
And got it in the house and realized, okay, where the washer, the way that my laundry room is set up, the washer is in the way, and I could get the dryer in the door, but I couldn't get it past the washer.
So what did you do?
So that's when you got to take the dryer back out. You got to unhook the washer,
pull the washer out,
so you can put the dryer in and then put the washer back in.
Big stuff.
But I tell you what, once you finish it, you're like, yeah, look at that, Gus. I put that in.
Accomplishments.